Right there, baby.
Morning. Firing up the jet boil, make a cup of coffee, get the day started. Had some good rain, about 12:40 last night. Let up about 1 o'clock. Bulls started bugling after that, so we're hoping to run into something a little bit better this morning.
Alright guys, sun's not out yet, but I know it'll be here most of the day. So charging up my little cool pop-up lantern that my brother gave me for Christmas one time. He actually gave me this several years ago. It's kind of the first trip we're ever going to get to use it. And charge up an external battery pack to charge up devices.
Checking out some new country today. Trying to start learning this area a little bit. Super steep. We'll see what we can find.
That way.
What's the wind doing? Straight down.
Straight down.
That way. Should we break a stick or something? Just do a go.
Yep. Alright guys, I'm going to hang back just behind this little rise. They're going to go for about 60 yards. I'll see if I can hopefully start calling that bull in for him. The wind's going down thermals right now. He's probably moving that way just to try to catch our wind. So we're probably going to have to reposition.
Got a couple bulls bugling down here in the bottom. The wind's not great. We're trying to circle, get it in our favor.
Guys, I think we've got two bulls. One there and one there. The bigger one sounds like he might be farther. But I think the smaller sounding one is on its way. Kind of coming down below the wind, but that's where Josh and Jason are set up. So the wind is straight this way. One very interested. Comes closer, then he hangs up. Comes closer, he hangs up. I'm already back about 60 to 80 yards from Josh and Jason. The wind is still good. Raking and challenging. And then he answers. Sometimes he'll lead off. I'm pretty sure it's a satellite. He doesn't sound huge, but he's just been playing with this for like 45 minutes. He'll come and he'll go and he'll come back. But I keep trying to get back further so he'll come to me. Bugles and raking. I don't know if he's scared. So I'm switching to cow calls now, but he was fairly responsive, so I'm going to try a sequence of cow calls.
Elk bugling all around us. We've come to a deep, deep canyon. There's a cleft on the other side. And they're up above us. So, taking a little break, letting Dale catch up and try and figure out what's the next move. I think we have at least 3 different bulls bugling on this ridge right in front of us. But it is super steep. I gotta figure out how to cross a creek to go get them. Oh, there's a bull bugling here. There's a bull bugling here. There's a bull bugling over here. I'm trying to find Dale. He's back behind us. Have him catch up before we make our next move. I don't know where he's at. Alright, what's the game plan, boss?
Well, we've been playing a game of cat and mouse. They called me to move forward, and I started to move forward. One bugled. I bugled back, and he sounded like he was getting closer to me, so I kind of cut over and got into a different shooting lane, adjusted for the wind, thinking these guys were still about in the same spot. And then you'll see the footage where I was calling them, and they were answering me, and multiple times, and I tried to keep the wind right, because apparently I might have been above this canopy of forest, and they're across, but they sounded to me like they were close. Now they're bugling, and they sound like they're 2 or 3 times farther away than they did when they were answering me.
He is at the bottom of that park, all the way across the canyon where the creek's at, where me and Jason were at earlier. So So me and Jason were cow calling to Dale to tell him to come catch up with us, and he couldn't even hear us. So this timber and undulation makes sound really different, and then some sounds you can't even hear. So what's the plan? What are we gonna do now?
Well, let's see, 9:30. You know, there's a couple right in that saddle. The problem is, this is very steep territory, and camps that way. Even if you get the horse trail there, the horses almost died going up that trail. So we just have to figure out our best approach to try to get the wind right, kind of be up on their same elevation, and maybe just take our time and maybe try some midday calling, but we've got to dig deep and see if we really want to dig that deep.
Those are avalanche chutes into the top of that timber line. Well, that's motivation to keep climbing that hill. He keeps bugling.
What else we got to do today?
Just make a beeline right straight through here, up, and then we'll check when we cross the stream. We'll check where we're at.
Okay. What you doing, Dale?
I wore myself out calling to the Phantom Elk across the canyon. I thought we're not across the canyon. So I'm replenishing some water. So they're squeezed. Ice cold, crystal clear.
Never cross the creek without getting some water, right?
Right?
Well, I couldn't even hear you, so I was just like, I kept asking.
Well,
Jason,
that's
like,
so strange
what's
to
Dale
me.
doing? He's not even calling. Like, what? Yeah.
We were bugling. If we caught a hint of it, it was bouncing off the canyon on the other side. So we thought it was another bull.
Wow.
I actually asked a stupid question. I said, "You think that one to the left is Dale?" And he's just gone over and kept on going. They're probably like, "Why the hell haven't they shot it yet?"
Well, that's what I was thinking. I was like, they gotta be seeing him, because he's that last stretch when he started coming, and like he was chuckling, it was getting louder, it was getting grunty. I'm like, oh, it's finally gonna happen.
We're sitting there looking at this cliff and this creek, and we're going.
And the elk's up there. The elk's up there walking towards me.
You know, like,
He's walking up here going, I ain't going.
Well, that's my fault for not moving forward on the first 3 cow calls.
It's early in the week. We're figuring it out. We're doing it right, though. Everything we're doing right now is the right way. Whether or not this bull cooperates, whether he stays there, we're doing everything right. Everything in our old school wants us to go right down and right at him.
Yep.
But what he's probably thinking right now is there was a herd of elk over here this morning. All of a sudden they end up where he's at.
Yep.
It's all him.
What's your plan, Jason?
I'd like to follow the stream up, check the wind as we go. Once we get steady wind up the valley, do a little cow calling, and see if we can hear an answer and come up toward us. 272.
Wow.
But it's straight uphill.
Yeah.
If we've got decent solid wind perpendicular, he could drop down and cut us off if the wind's going up.
Josh took a fall. Bow hit pretty hard. We're going to make sure his sights are still good. Double checking into some moss. Soft dirt. Dead on.
We're getting ready for a little bit of exercise. Going up that thing.
Brace the suck.
And embrace the suck.
Okay, guys. Josh wanted to be caller this sequence. I'm a shooter, Jason's a shooter. We came across. The wind is still perfectly in our favor. tried that little setup for almost 45 minutes, I'd guess. And he didn't want to cooperate, or he can't hear us, one of the two. But now it's lunch break.
We pushed onto the other side, and there's a bedded bull across the next ridge from us. And he's barely making little noises, probably laying in a bed. He's a long ways away up a steep ridge. So, almost 3 o'clock. We're a long ways away from camp. We got some he's right in there. And there he answers.
Well, guys, we tried a cow party. We've got one bull down there, probably 500-600 yards, fairly interested, but not interested enough to come up here. He doesn't come to cow calls, and he'll answer bugles pretty weakly, so he does not want to fight. But it's so late in the day, we don't have time to pursue him much because we've got a lot of hills to get back to camp before dark. But I'll probably make him answer.
I don't know if that's the same bull from this morning, but he's lazy, doesn't want to get up, barely answers, kind of sounds like he's not even out of his bed. And to get to him with the wind, we'd run out of daylight, and then we'd have a 4-mile walk back to camp. So we're gonna hope there's maybe a little bit better, more aggressive bull on the way back. And we still have a long ways to go to get back. It's almost 3 o'clock, so we'll see if we make it back to camp before dark. This looks like a perfect place to refill some of our water bottles. Look at that. That's pretty cool. Waterfalls all the way up.
It's a good sign. It's only 0.8 miles from camp, less than a mile. And our feet are on fire, so we're going to do a little cow calling session. Let our feet kind of get the blood flowing again. This is why you never stop hunting, even if you're completely exhausted and 700 yards from camp. We're sitting here taking a little break. And just saw two elk, cow, and a 5-point bull about 80 yards from us. I think the wind was fine. I think they maybe just heard us kind of chatting kind of quietly. But it's good to know they're close to camp. An extremely nice site for sore feet.
Jason's starting us a fire and our little camp deer just hanging out. She's probably 20 yards away. Must not have a lot of deer tags in this area. She ran out to the middle of the park and Dale's target scared her to half to death. But she's okay with me sitting here just looking at her and us starting a fire. Yeah, what do you think, girl? Oh, now you go skittish. Jim must be coming into the park. There's some flames. Nice. Steaks for dinner tonight. We ended up stomping the hills flat. They used to be 10,000 feet, now they're 1 foot. My ankles and my knees and the bottoms of my feet are killing me. This is some steep, rugged country. Jumped a handful of elk on the way back, only 700 yards from camp. So, lesson for today is, don't hike 5 miles away from camp. Just hike right over the ridge and sit down and wait. Save all that energy. No, we're starting to learn the area and having fun. Starting to figure it out, day by day. Yes, Dale?
We got an education today.
Yes, we did.
On very many levels.
An expensive one.
But I think we were rewarded or had a little gift from God to be like, you don't have to go that far from camp, because we saw 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, maybe 7 elk within the last hour of our hike, all within about 750 yards of camp.
Well,
So
maybe a little close to camp hunting tomorrow, we'll see. St. Louis pork steaks. They're wonderful. Mashed potatoes, beans, eating like kings up here in the middle of nowhere.
Yep.
thanks to Jim and Joe, I have a bunch of dehydrated meals and tortillas.
Well, this is dehydrated potatoes. Those things are
It tastes good.
unbelievable.
Idahoan are awesome.
God dang.
I never even heard of them, Jason. My cousin, you know, Dean, when he was getting his together to come up with us, he told me about them, and he had some at his mom's house because he had all of his bags of shit up there ready to go like a month ago for me to, you know, look at and stuff. And then